There's a Leonardo da Vinci quote which says, "Once you have tasted flight, you'll forever be looking up." And I think that's a pretty apt description of almost every pilot I know. We love the sense of freedom. We love the perspective that we see.
Stephen Limpkin is a recreational flight instructor and pilot, but his journey to this point in his life has been a road far less travelled. After a near fatal bout of meningoencephalitis, a virus that attacks the brain, Stephen spent almost a month in hospital in what was the most intense and frightening period of his life. He was then left with the trauma that manifested itself into a fear of flying. But the steps Stephen took to overcome this are both courageous and inspiring.
I'm Stephen, and this is my adventure. I had to jump on a plane and fly to somewhere. All I remember is that we hit turbulence, and everything from my hospital experience and thinking about how close I came to dying latched onto this turbulence.
Stephen's fear was completely debilitating, so he decided to face it head on.
Got back from that trip and I started researching flight schools. I got in contact with Go Fly up on the sunny coast and had a quick chat with Damien. I went up and I met with him, and basically he said, "Yeah, we can help you." From that point on, I just started learning to fly. When I first started learning, like, the colour drains out of my face. It was like the scariest moment I'd been through.
Yeah, a bit of forward pressure, a little bit of forward pressure.
The great thing about learning to fly planes is what seems really difficult to start with becomes normal. To obtain your recreational licence generally takes somewhere between 20 and 30 hours. So I got through all of my training in about, I think, 26 hours. I think there are a couple of milestones when it comes to learning to fly. The first one is your first solo. I still remember it to this day.
15, nose wheel up.
It was just the most amazing experience, jumping into the plane for the first time and taking off.
And I am flying by myself.
And then doing that circuit and coming back in and landing and, yeah, got it done.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I want to cry.
It was a fantastic feeling. Taking Ruth up for the first time was absolutely amazing. It was just one of those experiences where she had been walking through this entire journey with me, and then for her to actually be the very first person I took flying was very special. In March of 2019, I finished my instructor rating, and I thought it'd be a wonderful idea to take my dad up flying. He's always wanted to learn to fly. So I'm actually going to pay for your first 3 flight lessons. It was just such a magical experience being able to take him up and for him to experience that, because he'd been living vicariously through my aviation journey.
You have control?
I have control.
We flew down the beach and got to do that sort of introductory flight lesson for him, and he was just in his element.
Beautiful.
I graced that one.
I teach people to fly 2 days a week, and people from all different walks of life. Some are young, some are middle-aged, some are old. So when I first started learning to fly, I did it to overcome a fear of flying, and now I'm an instructor. I just like to be very relaxed when I'm in the cockpit and just sort of not provide any sort of stress points for people when they're learning to fly, and just hopefully that they come away having a really good experience. I think what I really hope people get out of my story is the fact that when we put our minds to things, we can actually overcome adversity. We can all be the hero of our own story if we're prepared to take the risk and give it a go.
If Stephen's story has inspired you, or you're simply keen to give flying a go and become the hero of your own story, book a lesson with Stephen at Go Fly Aviation.